Want to try new ideas in your ministry without blowing up your program? In this quick episode of Student Ministry Connection, we're talking about a simple way to test fresh ideas while keeping your core ministry strong. Welcome to Student Ministry Connection, a podcast for student ministry leaders who want to connect and grow. My name's Steve Cullum. In addition to serving in local church student ministry, I also serve with National Network of Youth Ministries. And in the nearly 25 years that I've served with students, there are lots of things that have changed and many things that have stayed the same. I think those that remain are Jesus, of course, and teenagers' need for Jesus. But they're also looking for a place to belong and feel connected. In all reality, they're no different than us adults. But there's also some things that have changed quite a bit, like our programming and how we go about student leadership, and still other things that have changed for a while and then came back around. And so much of student ministry depends on our context. What works for one leader in Illinois doesn't necessarily work the same way in Massachusetts, and will probably need a lot of adjustments if you were to try it in Nigeria, and it might not work at all in Argentina. I think you get my point. You've probably heard it said that while the message should stay the same, the methods can change. It's my opinion that student ministry should always try new methods in order to reach teenagers with the gospel. But how do we do that when it's also so important to keep a steady plan to build momentum? I mean, most parents probably wouldn't be very happy if we changed the day and the time and the location of our program every week, and we're always trying brand new things and never sticking with anything for more than a week or two. This is why I think it's important to do what Scott Carmode of Fuller Seminary calls experimenting on the margins. Think about a piece of paper or a book. Typically, you have your main content in the middle, but you also have these margins around the outside. What are they there for? Well, beyond making the page look better, it's also a great place to take notes or draw. The content in the middle will stay the same, but you have the space around it to play and dream. The same is true for our ministries. While our main ministry should probably stay the same most of the time, we can play, dream, and experiment in the margins. So, what does this practically look like? Let's say you have a weekly program that meets on Sunday nights, and you're wanting to see if a midweek program would work better. In addition to doing your homework of talking to parents and students and your team of volunteers, maybe you could try something one Wednesday a month, or maybe for 3 or 4 weeks in a row. Don't stop your main Sunday program, but experiment with an additional event on a Wednesday to see how it's received. Or let's say that you have your regular program, but you want to introduce a new element, like music. This doesn't mean the entire ministry changes. Instead, maybe try to add a musical element once in a while or for a couple weeks in a row. One of my favorite times to experiment is the summer. It's a natural break in the school year, and most people expect things to change some in the summer, which means it's a great time to try something new. One summer I tried home groups. Another time I tried meeting in a public space, like a park. One summer we handed our entire program over to graduating seniors. And another summer we did big monthly events instead of weekly programs. During these times of experimentation, we learn a lot. We learn what works and what doesn't work. We learn what students are looking for and what they're not looking for. We learn what connects with our context and what doesn't. But the important thing is that we don't need to lose momentum in our main program or ministry. The main thing stays the same, and we experiment on the margins of the paper. In their book, Growing Young, Kara Powell, Jake Mulder, and Brad Griffin explained it this way. Rather than launching change from the inside out, try saturating your congregation from the outside in. In other words, look for opportunities to implement shifts that start on the periphery rather than at the core of the church. Trying a new idea first with a Sunday school class, small group, handful of students, or anywhere not on display to your entire congregation qualifies as an experiment on the margins. So as we head into the summer months, as I'm recording this, what are some things that you can try out that wouldn't be smart to try at any other time of year? What are some changes that you can make that would make sense for the summer months? And what's one thing that you can cut that you would never do so in the middle of the school year? Continue to keep your main thing going until it makes sense to make a big change. And in the meantime, keep experimenting on the margins. And who knows, you may stumble upon something that you may want to implement further. Or you might find out something doesn't work at all, and you'll be so thankful you didn't make that huge change that left you wishing that you simply played around in the margins. And that's it for this quick episode. If you were able to connect and grow from this, please consider sharing this with another youth pastor, or maybe even share it in an online ministry group. I'm constantly seeing leaders ask questions in those groups that we have often covered right here on Student Ministry Connection. So while I presume you're benefiting from this podcast, I know others can as well. So please help us get the word out. And if you'd like to learn more about what I do with National Network of Youth Ministries, or find out other ways that you can partner with me in it, please check out nnym.org/Steve Cullum, or you can just follow the links in the show notes. I am so thankful for those who have joined my prayer and my financial partnership teams already, and know that there's always room for more. Speaking of NNYM, we have some really exciting things happening soon, so make sure to stay tuned to our social media and our website. And if you think of me, please be praying for me. I'm going to be traveling quite a bit this summer for a few speaking gigs and a couple fundraising trips. In fact, if you're looking for a speaker at your next youth group event or team training, or just want a week off from youth group, feel free to reach out to me. And I know I say this a lot, but I have some great episodes coming up soon, including several interviews that I am really looking forward to sharing with you. So make sure you're subscribed on your favorite podcast app or on YouTube. And until next time, be sure to stay connected, and may God bless your ministry.